Hi, Ryan here. Thanks so much for ordering the tabs. I really appreciate it. This song was pretty interesting. I don't usually do a lot of country stuff, but I was glad that it had like a nice distorted solo in it. It was pretty cool. So the licks you asked me to transcribe were the intro, there's a lick before the second verse, the solo, and the outro. And in fact, the intro, the second lick, and the outro are all very, very similar. They're all kind of derivations of the same idea. The solo was the only very different part. So, starting from the beginning, I've sent you is 3 files instead of 4, actually. The 3 are the intro, the lick before the second verse, and the solo. I didn't send over an outro file because the outro is essentially the exact same thing as the intro. It's just kind of playing around in the same spot, and I'll explain what I mean by that later on. So, starting with the intro lick, what we have here is he's starting on the 7th fret on the D string and the 6th fret of the G string, so you're forming this major triad. And what he's doing is he's bouncing around between the 6th fret G string and the 7th fret G string as a chord. So we're kind of staying in that 3 fret area. And then the second time he slides up to 9 on the G string here. So it's all taking place right around this A shape, right around the 7th and 6th fret here on the D and the G. So that intro, once more, is there's like a little half bend and a release there. So that's the intro lick, and that's the same theme that's used. It's used in the intro, before the second verse, and the outro. The outro is almost identical to this. It's pretty much all takes place in the same spot, and you can kind of play around with it and phrase it however you'd like, and you'll come up with pretty much what's going on in the outro. So that's the intro. Now we'll move over to the lick before the second verse, which happens at 1 minute and 14 seconds. And again, the beginning of it is exactly the same as the intro. So we have that same sort of major triad going on. And then there's a little outro 3 notes before he starts singing, which are a bend at the 6th fret on the G, and a descension to the 7th fret D, 7th fret A. So altogether it's and then you go right into the singing for the second verse. So again, very similar to the intro, just a slight ending there. So now we'll move on to the solo, and I'll move this so you can get a better look at it. So the solo is it's different in a way, but still not too complicated. It starts out with this bend on the 10th fret of the B string here. So I'll play it through real quick, and then we'll break down each part. So here we go. So, sorry about that camera angle, I just noticed that was awful. So it starts out real quick on a 10th fret bend on the B string, twice. And you're going to release that bend and slide down to the 9. So. And the second part is we're going up to the 9th fret B string and the 9th fret G string and doing a bend and then playing this note and another bend and playing the note. So it's all happening on the 9th fret here. So so far we have And then we're going to go into this alternate picking ascending run. Now this was a little difficult to hear because the singing is taking place, and it's played rather sloppily as well. It's not very clean. What I've written for you on the tabs are 2 notes per string, 6 notes in total, and they are starting on the 14th fret of the D string. We're going to go 14, 16, and then up to the G string. 13, 14, and to the B, 12, 14. So you have, and then there's a bend that follows right after on the 14th of the B, a half bend. So what I've written is that those 6 notes. When I was listening to it, I couldn't decide if they were. It sounds like they're sliding up from the 12. Or if they're doing some sort of run incorporating this 12th fret. So it was just a very weird run, and very sloppy in my opinion. But the main notes to focus on are these last 4, last 5 I guess, including the bend. Those are all, they're pretty consistent. Now whether you want to start on the 14, 16 on the D string, or maybe you want to start on the 12. Whatever it is, it's kind of messy around the first few, but I'm fairly positive that the last few notes are up here. So do with that what you will, but the way it's written sounds pretty good as well. It's going to fit in line with the song. You know, if you're playing along to the song or playing with the band, that's going to sound just fine. It's pretty much exactly what he's playing. I couldn't tell if the beginning few notes was a slide, like a weird slide kind of thing, or if there's actually set notes there. So have a little fun with that. But the way it's written and the tabs I've sent you are going to work out just fine. So after that run, we have this bend, release, and then 12 on the B, 14 on the G. So and then we have this another 12, 14 bend on the B string. And then from here you're going to slide straight up to 17 on the B, and you're going to bend this and then play this 14th on the E string simultaneously, and that's the same note. This is like a classic rock and roll bend. It's hard to hear, but I'm pretty sure he's doing that. So you have, you're going to release that bend. So. And then we have the final descending run, which is 14, 12 on the B, and then 13, 11 on the G, and then 14, 12 on the D. So, but the first of each of these 2 strings is bent, so it's bent and released. So you have, and now this was a very quiet subtlety, but I picked up on it. It was this note that he's holding, the 12th fret in the D. It sounds like the end of the solo, but it actually carries over into the, I guess, the bridge or the post-chorus, post-solo-ish section. He's going to hold on to this for 2 measures of 4, and then slide down to the 11 for 2 measures of 4 on the D string. And then there's a quick rest, and he's going to play this chord. It's 12 on the D, 9 on the G, 10 on the B. So all in all, with the end run and then the slide, you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. And then at that point, it kind of fades away, and the chorus will pick back up, and they play the last chorus, and that's really the whole solo section. There's a little bit of an outro there. And then, like I said, the final outro, while there's some singing going on, it all takes place around the same spot. So have a little fun with that. It's all around here. I'm sure it's open for some interpretation as well. But just to reiterate, the first, second, the intro, the the lick before the second verse, and the outro, they're all taking place around this shape. The 7th fret on the D, the 6th fret on the G. So they're all kind of mixed around there. So that's it. I hope this helped, and if there's anything I forgot, or if you need clarification on specific parts, don't hesitate to ask. I have no problem sending over another video, or maybe writing up a different tab. Whatever you need, I'm willing to help out. So let me know, and I appreciate the order. Thanks a lot.